Nate turned him. He's got him flattened out. He's got the choke. Oh! Nate Diaz is going off.
Boxing.
For a fight, Nate Diaz.
But everybody does. So if you watch the fight, let's take into consideration real quick. Let's take into consideration that this is 23 minutes of fighting in. Okay, and let me tell you beforehand.
Didn't you step on your cup?
My eyes right here, my eyes, and right here, like after a certain amount of time, I had sweat in my eyes. Hold on, pause it. I had sweat in my eyes, so I could see him. I could see him all completely clear. But like my eyes were all sweated out and I couldn't see his eyes. So when he went like this, I thought he was playing with me. Cause I couldn't see that, but if I could see his eyes, I could see like really far. You could see some of these eyes that if they're conscious or not. And like when I cracked him, I thought he was, when I pointed at him, I was like, "Ha, bitch, shut up." Cause I thought he was playing with me. And I was like, "Fuck you." And then I was like, "Oh shit, he is fucked up." And then watch from that point how many punches I throw and how much I actually really attack him.
Nate Diaz's name is back in the spotlight once again. Short clips of him are pulling in millions of views. He's getting invited onto podcasts left and right, and the reason for all of it is his next fight.
Well, me and Mike Perry been the biggest thing on the outside of the UFC.
Yeah, I've been following the BKFC stuff
for a
It's
cool
great.
minute, and he's been doing moves and making shit happen and respect because like nobody's knows how to do shit. People who are the talent are just the fucking talent, and I'm like, bro, I have to get out of here because I'm not. That's not what I am, you know. So, and I get out and I'm like, what I do is fight. I need to do what I do. So I've been like, there's nobody out here. And then he's out there doing the thing, and we got offered each other a few times, and it was in the direction of it happening, and a couple of things happened, didn't happen, and now it's happening. So that unfortunately, this is the only way to make it happen.
On May 16th, under the Most Valuable Promotions banner, the Stockton OG will step into the ring against Mike Perry, the king of bare-knuckle fighting. And in honor of that event, today we're bringing you 10 moments where Nate Diaz went into full savage mode.
Yeah, he knows how to win, and he knows how to win and get it done. So it's gonna be a serious, not serious fight, and you gotta fucking kill motherfuckers.
His fight with Leon Edwards, which was his second to last bout on his UFC contract, absolutely shocked the world and showed the Stockton native in his purest form. In June 2021, our guy returned to the main octagon once again to show his skills and test himself against another rising prospect that everybody already viewed as the clear favorite. The Jamaican Rocky, who would later become welterweight champion, was still climbing toward his title opportunity and needed a big-name opponent to get there. Nate, on the other hand, genuinely didn't care who they gave him. It had already been over a year and a half since his last fight. He just wanted to get back in the cage at UFC 263. And nothing else mattered to him.
I was waiting for this whole, the whole world to speed back up. I wasn't really waiting. I was just trying to get on a good card where everything was happening again with his full crowds, and it was time to go. And he's the one who's winning and doing a good job. And he's got an impressive little record and career going on. So let's take that.
So where was the wild part, you ask? Well, let's put it this way. The fact that Diaz was bloodied up and still pressing the gas pedal all the way down without stopping, was already enough. But he went even further than that, because in the final round, he came this close to beating a top-level young opponent, and instead of going all in for the finish, he chose to mock him instead. That's just straight-up gangster shit, boys.
You know what I'm saying? He won or whatever, but I feel like I'm the better fighter still, regardless. And I feel like the peak of the fight is what matters in the fight anyway. What happened and then no hate on Leon. Congratulations to him. And why would you fight anybody but the top guy if you're gonna fight at all? So yeah, I wish it would have went my way, but it's all good.
And don't pay attention to the timeline jumps. We're warning you now, because they're going to be random and chaotic. We simply picked the Nate Diaz moments that stuck with us the most, and are showing them to you in no particular order.
What is the game plan going out against him?
The game plan is to go in there, hit him with some good shit, don't get hit, and come home with a pocket full of cash.
Back in late June 2007, Nate Diaz officially became part of the UFC. Despite having a modest record, he broke into the best MMA promotion in the world through the Ultimate Fighter Season 5. In the finale, he faced Manvel Gamburian, and our boy got him out of the way early in the second round. That's how he earned his UFC contract and joined the organization, while still basically just a kid.
All right, Nate, congratulations. On behalf of the UFC, you are the lightweight Ultimate Fighter. You get the 6-figure contract with the UFC. You get the trophy. And you also get a customized watch brought to you by High Mob Watches.
All right, baby, give it to him.
Congratulations, buddy. You're the winner.
By September 2011, younger Diaz was hitting something close to his prime. And by close, we don't mean physical prime in the purest sense. We mean more of a career prime.
In the sport for it, because that's what I'm in it for, that's what I was in it from the beginning for, to let everybody know that I'm the baddest dude there is, you know what I'm saying? And baddest there is, you know what I'm saying? You told me to say it. He told me you could cuss on television.
The kind people usually mean when they talk about fighters and combat athletes. As he approached that point, Nate was carving his path toward a title shot. And helping him along the way was a Japanese legend, Takanori Gomi, who stepped in to fight Diaz at UFC 135.
All these guys are on steroids, so can't be surprised when somebody pops up on steroids, you know? It usually should be a surprise when people aren't on steroids.
And to be fair, some of the talk around that fight did make sense. We're not going to claim whether Gomi was on anything or not, but even if he was, it still didn't save him from those Stockton hands. Nate Diaz battered him in the first round and then finished Takanori with a nasty armbar before the round ended.
You think you beat me in a street fight?
Huh?
You think you beat me in a street fight?
You in a street fight?
Yeah.
You're a podcaster, brother.
I love it. I love it. So the answer is then yes, yeah?
Of course.
I love it.
Then, on May 5th, 2012, Nate Diaz stepped in to fight Jim Miller. And as history would later show, this fight became the final test of the Stockton native before his title opportunity.
I know I train harder than anybody in the UFC, so the mission at hand right now is Jim Miller, and I'm here to complete it, you know, take him out.
It was the main event of UFC on Fox 3, and our guy absolutely tore the well-rounded Miller apart in under 2 rounds. He destroyed him on the feet and then finished the job with a brutally tight guillotine choke.
I was comfortable with.
Final question, what do you want to do next? There's talk about title shots, talk about Anthony Pettis. He said he wants to fight you. What would Nate Diaz want to do?
I'll fight whoever wants to fight, whoever they want me to fight. I just want a couple minutes, you know.
In many ways, that finish was one of the most important wins of early Nate Diaz's career, because after that, he got his title shot. But logically, the bigger test may have actually been the fight that came before Miller, because that opponent was a prime Donald Cerrone.
He's got some good things that he does, but I train with guys that do the same thing, you know, and there's nothing I haven't seen before. But we're gonna have to find out what happens on Friday night. That's when it goes down. So we'll see when it happens.
From a ranking standpoint, that was a huge matchup. Cowboy was in incredible form, and in the eyes of the matchmakers, he looked like the perfect guy to become the next lightweight champion. All he had to do was prove he was better than that reckless little savage from Stockton.
100%. I've been following Nate and his brother for a long time. Those two come to fight. They're game opponents. No matter who, no matter what, they throw down. And come Friday, he will show up. I know that without doubt in my mind. He will come to fight, and it's going to be a very exciting, action-packed fight.
But Nate completely ruined all of Donald's plans. And he did it in his usual mocking style. The obvious psychological warfare, the behavioral bullying, the insults, the middle fingers in the air, all covered in his signature Stockton 1-2 combinations, completely broke Cerrone down. That was one of the best performances of Nate Diaz's career.
I'm gonna beat Gray Maynard. This is the third time fighting him. Finish it off and seal the deal. I won the first one. I think I won the second fight too. You could ask him how he won the fight. I bet you don't got too good of an answer. I'm gonna be in his face. I'm gonna let him know that I'm there to win, and he's gonna. This is survival of the fittest. I beat him. I'm gonna hunt down Pettis and Thompson's ass and take them out. I'll be back fighting for a title. Real quick.
Nate Diaz's trilogy with Gray Maynard was just as legendary, and it absolutely had to be in this video, because it started all the way back on The Ultimate Fighter Season 5 and lasted all the way until November 30th, 2013. That was the day it all ended, with a decisive first-round TKO win for the Stockton native. That was Nate's final word in the rivalry, and after that, Maynard didn't have much left to say.
I'm sorry. Why back at 155 and not 170?
That's just the way things worked out, you know. They gave me a list of names at 170, and it was like, never heard of any of them. Michael Johnson's ranked number 5. He's a better option than the other ones.
Then Diaz went on to fight Michael Johnson, and that fight became a turning point for him in every possible way. Because after that one, our guy became a superstar.
Final thing, how are you going to react when he starts talking smack to you, egging you on and things like that?
Right
you like
here,
that?
Right there, that smile right there. Yeah, that motivates me, you know. If he's doing that, then I know he's not focused on the fight. He's focused on talking trash and getting in my head. That means he's losing once he starts doing that. So
no defense mechanism in the world was going to save Johnson from eating those trademark Stockton combinations, and Nate even picked up a nice bonus check on top of it. But that wasn't even the main course. The real dessert came after the fight, when he called out the notorious Irishman.
Pick on John Anik the other day. He has a bully mentality until a real man shows up. Like Mike Tyson said, he's scared of a real man.
John Anik, fuck you. How about that?
After the spontaneous short-notice two-fight war with Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz woke up as a full-blown superstar. Yeah, we already said that. But his popularity exploded to such a ridiculous level that we honestly don't mind saying it again.
C202, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Who's gonna win and how?
I think Conor's gonna knock him the hell out, and I think Conor's gonna whoop him. I'm excited. I'm ready to see UFC 202. Conor's gonna whoop him. I'm ready. Let's go.
Quote.
Oh, whoa. I don't want you to get knocked out. I don't know why you want me to get knocked out. What is going on here? Nate, what's up? Yeah, well, I was just saying, you're gonna be great. Dude, get on the ground, man. Hey, man, represent, you know? Good. I like this guy a lot, too, though. Yeah. I did say that. I did say that, right? I said that.
No, you didn't say that.
After his shocking win at UFC 196, Diaz gave the Irishman the rematch. And at UFC 202, the two of them gave the octagon all 25 minutes, with the win going to McGregor in the end. But honestly, that doesn't even matter, because Nate Diaz became a superstar.
Remember when I Donald Cerrone here on New Year's, and who fought on the main event with Brock Lesnar and
that was a Brock Lesnar fight?
With Brock Lesnar and Overeem, I think.
Nate's final fight under UFC contract came in September 2022. It was a showdown with Tony Ferguson at UFC 279. And once again, on short notice,
Tony's been around a long time. We should have fought a long time ago. Khabib's bitch ass was afraid of him, just like this bitch ass motherfucker was afraid of me yesterday. We punked his bitch ass in the back here, and now we don't know how to make weight, you know what I'm saying? You guys already know what it is. Real G's come from California, America, motherfucker.
El Cucuy folded in the fourth round after a guillotine choke that would have made even Khamzat Chimaev tap. And if that had happened, he would have had to pay Stockton $1 million out of his own pocket. Because, apparently, that's an actual thing in his gym. Like, if anyone can make him tap, they get paid. And that's how Nate Diaz put the final stamp on his UFC run and left the organization beautifully on his own terms.
I have no plans on being back in the UFC. I have no plans on not being back in the UFC. Did I say that? That's what I said.
And finally, let's talk about his clash with Anthony Pettis.
I see my hand getting raised, man. I feel like Nate Diaz had 3 years off. I'm not impressed with what he's done. I mean, he beat McGregor. Other than that, who has he beat? So I've been on the front line since I came into sport. I'm fighting the best in the world, always.
After a 3-year break, which in reality was more like a voluntary vacation for the Stockton native, who wanted to heal up and enjoy the wave of success that had hit him, he decided to come back to the game. And it turned into one of the best returns in UFC history.
Like, I want to fight. Who's next? I want to do whatever I'm told. I'm from day one. It's gonna stay the same too until I'm 100 years old. I'm the don of all this shit. Anybody gonna step in this room and say they're the ass whipper? I beg to differ.
What makes that fight so attractive? The consequences that came after it. Of course, the performance itself deserves praise too. Diaz tore Showtime apart and beat the soul out of him. And that definitely deserves respect. But that's not even the main point.
The reason I was off is because everybody sucked. There was nobody to fight. But with this belt, I want to defend it against Jorge Masvidal. Had a good last fight. Good last fight. All respect to the man, but there ain't no gangsters in this game anymore. There ain't nobody who does it right but me and him. So I know my man's a gangster, but he ain't no West Coast gangster.
Nate Diaz's biggest achievement in that moment was that with his aura, his presence, his character, call it whatever you want, he brought another unique precedent into the fight game. It was because of him, together with Jorge Masvidal, that the UFC introduced the exclusive BMF title, A belt that, by its very existence, celebrates and highlights the most entertaining and valuable fighters on the roster. And that's how this list of the most memorable Nate Diaz moments turned out. Maybe you remember some others too. Drop your picks in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye on the Stockton Natives fight coming up on May 16th. And definitely smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. See you soon.